2/22/22. I don't know what type of fuckery gonna happen today, but be on the lookout. I'll tell you that much. And it's a rainy ass day. It's real dreary out here. It's supposed to rain. Shout out to Jay Paulo, and if y'all ain't checked it out, me and Jay went live on Cannon Speaks last night. Go back and check out the replay after this. We had a fun time. We talked about Truth Social, or lack thereof of Truth Social. We talked about today's date, 2/22/22. And we went over that trailer for Everything's Gonna Be All White. That's why every time I say that shit, it sounds like Elmer Fudd. You know what I mean? Everything's gonna be all white. I got about an hour trip left. I'm gonna go pick up a boat from somebody's yard, take it back to my yard, destroy it, and get paid for it. You know what I mean? Oh man, if y'all can read the back of that truck, you got Let's Go Brandon on the back window, and then it say show us your boobs on the side of the window. What up, James? What's the deal? Like I said, I gotta go, I got about an hour drive right now. I'm just shooting the shit, yo. So I checked my Truth app, my Truth Social app. I'm still on the waiting list. And if you ain't catch HJ's late night explanation of Truth Social and how it's working, and his, you know, his take on it, go check that out too. But I said it last night. I said I think it's a ploy. I think that's how they doing it for real. I think they just wanna see how many people they can draw in before they really launch the app. You know what I mean? And it look like it's, you know, right now it look like a dud, right? You know, they glitching, you know, but you got, you know what to expect, you feel me? You know what to expect. You know, Donnie T coming back on social media, he coming back to the internet, everybody want a piece of that. You know what I mean? Whether you pro Donnie T or you against Donnie T, you feel me? You know, me personally, I think a lot of the people that's in that queue waiting to get in, them people is they the ones arguing and shit. You know what I mean? They the ones who want to argue with them. You know what I mean? One in the chat if you can hear me. One in the chat if you can hear me. You know what I mean? But this is, you know, a lot of the people that's complaining about the platform, they gonna be the main ones signed up so they can argue. They want to throw stones. They want to, you know, yell and scream at old Donnie T. You know what I mean? They want to. They want to run and they want to scream at old Donnie T, right? So they going to sign up for that platform. They're about to give him all of that. They're about to give him all that shit. They're about to give him all the attention that he wants. Like HJ said, you know what I mean? This app ain't for the people. This app is strictly for Donnie T. And this shit is fucking genius. What up, Jay? This shit is fucking genius. You know, HJ right. You know what I mean? You wanna let me come to your clubhouse? Alright, fuck it. I'm gonna make my own clubhouse. You know what I mean? You don't want me to come hang out with you and your friend? Shit, I'm gonna make my own. You know what I mean? That's just what he did. He's like, fuck it. Alright, cool. I can't be a part of the Cool Kids Club. I'll make my own Cool Kids Club. And that's what he's doing. And now you got everybody trying to trying to torch and flame that shit. You know what I mean? You know, even though, you know, I guess they went about it the wrong way, you know, going into it and trying to, you know, launch this shit. If they really were trying to launch it, you know what I mean? It go to show you, like, you see the Q, you see that it's #1 on that trending on Apple's list. You know what I mean? Everybody want a piece of that shit. You know what I mean? Everybody want a piece of it. You know, shit, I wouldn't be shocked if by the end of the week, you know, be over 1 million people trying to get on this app. You know what I mean? Because it's just, you know, good, bad, and indifferent. However you feel about old Donnie T, right? People, they want a piece of that. A piece of that action. Whether they gonna go at his neck when they get on there, or they gonna be bowing down to him when they get on there. Because you know it's gonna be an echo chamber. You already know it's gonna be an echo chamber, right? You know, that's just what it is. We're gonna have all the black conservative ain't gonna be over there. You know, the red white's gonna be over there. You know, all of his supporters is gonna go to it. You know what I mean? Randy Tatum's and the Candace Owenses and, you know what I mean, the ABLs and Jericho Greens, all of them, they going over to it. You feel me? They gonna go over there and they gonna try to do their best grifting. Shit, I'm trying to get on there so I can do my best grifting. You feel me? Like I said yesterday, I came in on the grift late. You know what I mean? HJ and Ump and them, they was already in on the grift like, you know, 4 or 5 years, 6 years ago. You know what I mean? I missed that grift. I missed the initial grift. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't ready to speak out about some shit yet. Because, you know, at the time, you know, I had a job and I couldn't really do that because I didn't want to lose said job. You know what I mean? Now I'm not in that position. So, but, you know, this just what's going to be. It's going to get interesting. I want to see that. You know. Jay, the same ones on the left that despised him and fell off will be hugging him. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen, Jay. I mean, like I said, everybody in here, hit that like. I mean, go hit that like button. You know what I mean? Share this video out. Let's get some more people in here. YouTube be messing with me. They don't be putting out my notifications. Some people don't get it. That's why I got to put it out on Twitter and stuff like that. But yeah, start putting out them. Hit that share button. Hit that like button. People coming in for the replay, leave a comment in the comment section. Like I said, help me beat this algorithm. So today is 2/2/22, right? I don't know if some fuckery gonna happen, but we're gonna see. So yesterday I made mention to it in the live stream a little bit, but I didn't touch base on it. So apparently, two Ukrainian soldiers were killed by 2 mortar rounds sent by pro-Russian Ukrainians from the eastern section of Ukraine, right? That was yesterday. So now you got them reporting that they said two soldiers and 4 people, 2 soldiers killed and 4 people wounded. 2 mortar shells launched. Now you got Putin saying that some Ukrainian soldiers crossed the line and 5 of them got put down. They laid 5 of them down. You know what I mean? That was as of like what? Less than 23 hours ago when I was reading that on Reuters. Everybody's speculating that this could be the false, you know, those Fugazi banner events that we've been looking to see if they was going to happen. You know, I'm still skeptical, but you know, every day it's kind of looking like it's going to be a posture up for a war. Hopefully the U.S. don't try to jump in that bullshit. You know, it's not our fight. That shit ain't our fight. Period. Ukraine they got an army. They got people. Let them fight. You know, let them go. You know, let them go for it. And I just hope that we don't try to force our way into this fight by some fugazi banner. You know, it wouldn't be the first time the U.S. forced our way into a fight over some bullshit. You know, HJ done went over a couple of those events. You feel me? You have, you know, the Lusitania. Go check that shit out. He did a whole video in depth on that. You got the Gulf of Tonkin. You know what I mean? Babies in the incubator. I think that started Desert Storm. You got a bunch of that shit, man. You know, speculation with Pearl Harbor, shit like that. I mean, it's interesting to say the least. You know what I mean? What up, Handy Bob? Salute, man. Again, like I said, if you're new, hit that like and the subscribe button. Hit that share button, everybody. And share this, you know, share this video out. Get some more people in here. If you here on the replay, I mean, hit the leave a comment. But yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen with this. I don't know if today gonna lead to anything crazy as far as that's concerned, or anything that leads us into, you know, jumping in here. You know, like I said, go back and watch my live stream from last night. You know, Jay Paulo, he jumped in on it. You know, he weighed in on his, you know, with his opinion on it. You know, a little bit. Yo, what up, Jabari? Happy birthday to your son, yo. Happy birthday to your kid. You know what I mean, it's Jabari's son's birthday. Everybody wish his son a happy birthday. You know what I mean? So apparently, I didn't even really know it because I wasn't looking for it. But I guess everything's gonna be all right. Dropped an episode. I really don't know if I'm gonna watch that shit, though. I feel like that shit gonna make me angry. You know what I mean? Not a problem, bro. You know what I mean? I feel like that shit gonna make me angry. That trailer was some bullshit. You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of you know, so-called educated Negroes flexing nuts, thinking they know a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? Nothing but a big, huge propaganda minstrel show. That's all it is. Big, huge propaganda minstrel show. That's all it is. You know what I mean? Let's fight white supremacy by promoting white supremacy. Let's fight white supremacy by justifying the erasure of the Democrats' mistakes over the years, you know, and replacing them with more propaganda. You know, like Jay said yesterday, you know, they happy, and I said it before in one of my videos, they happy with the symbolism. They happy with the symbolism. You know what I mean? You know, they don't want no tangibles. You know, they're not ready for that. You know, they wanna grandstand and stand on their soapbox and scream and yell and say that this ain't getting done and that ain't getting done, but not willing to put the work in to get shit done. You know what I mean? They're not willing to put that work in. You know what I mean? It's petty. You know, everything's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? I'd rather watch Hidden Colors than watch everything's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Anybody got anything interesting happening today? Like I said, I'm dry right now. I'm going to Annapolis, Maryland right now. Reparations is going to be a money scam for funding rainbow groups in other countries. Yeah, that will promote their agenda. You're right. Right. I mean, that's facts right there. You know, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. You know what I mean? It's a lot of that now. Like I said, imagine, you know, if the Republicans manage to grab the House and the Senate again. That shit gonna be coming, you know, tenfold. You know, it's coming tenfold, straight up. Way too, you know, mark my words, man. All this shit gonna start all over again. Summer of love all over again. We're gonna hear more instances of police brutality, quote unquote. You know, because I mean, I'm sure y'all noticed that you know, you got some instances happening in, you know, Congress and all them. They've been silent as a motherfucker with it, ain't they? They've been silent as shit on it. You know, black folks been silent on that shit. You know, all of a sudden, you know, it's not this, you know, it's not that big of a deal apparently. You know, wait to see if the Republicans take the House and the Senate again. That shit gonna be a problem. So all of a sudden, it's gonna be a problem again. That shit gonna be reported on every channel. The most pettiest of petty be reported on every channel. You know, that's just what's gonna happen. That's how it be. You know, Democrats, they're good at branding. You know what I mean? Liberals, they're good at branding. You know, they don't play fair, and they're not going to play fair. And I don't know why Republicans expect the Democrats to play fair. You know what I mean? You know, they playing with weighted boxing gloves. You feel me? They playing with weighted boxing gloves. You know, and the Republicans is expecting them to have a fair fight, and they hitting below the belt. You know what I mean? That's just how it's always going to be. You know, they're afraid of being called racist, and they're afraid of being called white supremacists or coons or you know, buck dancing, whatever. You know, they're afraid of all of that. So they spend all of their energy trying to fight that stigma. You know what I mean? You know, it's like, fuck that. You know, let them call you names. Get work done. Get that shit done. The minute they get on like a good path, they get some traction. They fucking kowtow to the Democrats when they throw accusations on them. You know what I mean? But look how they move. You got what's his name? The nigga that was sleeping with the Chinese bitch. What's his name? Fang? What's his name? Swalwell. You know, you got Swalwell sleeping with a spy. He's still on every committee. He's still talking his bullshit. People don't remember Dianne Feinstein. Her fucking Dianne Feinstein's fucking chauffeur. That nigga worked for the Chinese too. He was a spy. Her chauffeur was a fucking spy. Nobody remember that shit. Reparations be dealt out in new projects, Hamilton, U.S. crypto. Yeah. They ain't giving money to the competition. No, fuck no. You know what I mean? What was that, y'all? Rachel Dolezal and Sean King, who did first to get reparations out of. Yeah, I know, right? I'm with HJ though. I'd rather get tax exempt status. I don't want the money. Give me tax exempt status. I'd be happy with that. Papa Hotep, what's the deal? Hey, that's another person y'all should be watching. You're following Papa Hotep. You're really getting it on YouTube right now. You know what I mean? He got a good channel. Get over there and follow my man. But you know, you got Eric Swalwell. He was fucking Fang. And then you got Dianne Feinstein. She Miss Daisy in the back seat of her car with a goddamn spy driver. But you know, the Dems, they just shut that shit off and keep it moving. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. You know, all California politicians been working in China since the 90s. I believe it. I remember when China was like destitute. You know what I mean? China owns half the real estate in California. Yeah. Don't they own don't China own like Yellowstone National Park or some shit like that? And don't they own like the Waldorf Astoria? Speaking of that, I had to go get a boat from out of Virginia that belonged to the Astor family. Same family that, you know, that opened the Waldorf Astoria. Old ass boat from like the 40s or some shit like that. The motherfucker been sitting since like 1996 and was rotting away. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, like, they own a bunch of land, yo. They own like the Chrysler building and shit like that. It's like, they got a lot of stake in the United States, yo. People don't know that. You know what I mean? I appreciate that, Pop. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's, yeah, Waldorf, Hilton hotels, plenty of U.S. Roadways and parks. Yeah, they own a lot of real estate in America. People don't know that. You know what I mean? What is it, Africa, yo? Where they like to think like like it's a mandatory language that they gotta learn. It's Mandarin, right? You know, some of the biggest. What is this? Some of the biggest canon deals happened in the '90s too. Yeah. But I think Mandarin is like, that's like they learning that shit in school. You know, I think it's like mandatory or some shit in like certain African countries. You know, in Jamaica, they buying up a bunch of real estate in Jamaica. Yo, they know what they doing, yo. They about to colonize the hell out of people. You know what I mean? They about to colonize the hell out of people. And now apparently they done jumped in the fight with, they done jumped in on Russia's side in the fight, from what I read. That's fucking, excuse me, that's crazy. But, you know, ain't like nobody ain't see that coming though. Remember, Hotep seen it coming. You know what I mean? They've been kind of hitting at that shit for a while. You know? Them and my people are having a solid, what is it? A solid economic war in Jersey over real estate. Yeah. Old redacted over new redacted. I believe it, yo. I mean, yeah. They definitely got, yep, right. They got China, Turkey, and Iran on their side. They've been having on their side. I remember when we was about to have issues with them before China was backing them. Yeah, Donnie T had them on the financial ropes. Yeah. And then the Cove base got released. It was on, when I say they was on the financial ropes, they was on the financial ropes. They couldn't deal anymore. They was gonna have to, fold. They was gonna have to fold, and they was gonna have to, you know, do what we told them to do essentially. But back the fuck off and stop using our intellectual property and all that other shit. You know what I mean? But that's not in the interest of the lobbyists here and our politicians, because you see what happened, you see how it is. They getting money from over there. You know, look at like Bill Martin put out there, John Cena up there. This nigga apologized in Mandarin. He apologized in Mandarin. You got LeBron James, he bitched up live television, didn't want to speak out about it. You know what I mean? You know, and John Cena, he, you know, yeah, China does. They own all our entertainment. They're a big fucking consumer of our entertainment. You know, they got so many fucking people. You know what I mean? You know, they got, you know, that's what it is, yo. They got so many fucking people, yo, that, you know, if you can get the market over there, you can make some cake. But see, they know that shit, so they leverage their people against us. You know, and the money good, so people they bend to the will. You know, the only team's like, fuck y'all. Who give a fuck? And he was not only did he not give a fuck, he was bankrupting him. He was bankrupting him, and that shit was on red alert. And then next thing you know, boom. You know what I mean? Cove base happens. You know, people don't understand that. People don't get, you know, they don't see the jokes. You know, Viva Fry said it on his show one day. He said, "You want to know who's in power? Find out who you can't make fun of, or find out who you can't criticize. That's who's running shit." And now we see you criticize China or anybody over there. You know what I mean? Pass me the, Dr. Flex. You know what I mean? They gonna vote with their capital. What up, Emmanuel? What up, Ahmad? Yeah, we all in the season of American Horror Story. It's just crazy, bro. You know what I mean? That's why I be getting boats from places I didn't know existed in Maryland. I be in the fucking sticks sometimes. I be like, yo, what is going on? I literally be in the sticks, yo. I still got like another, we've been talking for like 25 minutes. I still got another 38 minutes to go before I get to my location. But you can't make fun of them, though. The minute we make fun of them, right? You know, they vote with their fucking wallet. You feel me? And that's how we should do. You know, we want our politicians to play ball with us. Vote with your wallet, yo. Vote with your pockets. Vote with your feet, yo. Meaning like, you know, you see motherfuckers now where they leaving these states, yo, that's got these, you know, ridiculous authoritarian measures going on. You see people leaving California in droves. Baltimore always got people fucking leaving. We used to be a city of 500,000 people. I think we're down to 300 now. People just rolling the fuck out if they ain't getting shot. And then, you know, you got shit like Portland. You got motherfuckers just rolling out. You know, the sad part is that they rolling into, like, you know, the red states, you know, where a lot of the freedom's happening. You know what I mean? You know, they move into these red states where a lot of this freedom and shit, you know, is happening. And they gonna try to, and these motherfuckers will get there and vote the same exact way they was voting in California. They don't get it. They do not get it. You know what I mean? And pardon me if I don't read all of the chats, because, you know, I'm in the sticks. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I'm gonna let y'all see the road I'm on real quick. Some mountain farmland kind of right now. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. But you're right, they own a lot of our media. They consume a lot of our media. They own a lot of land here in America. People don't really know that. So, and on top of that, they own a lot of our fucking debt. They own a lot of our fucking debt. And the United States is leveraging land and resources against our debt for them. You know? Donnie T was doing the right thing, had him on the road show, but, you know, the powers that be, the redacted, you know, Jabari's people, you know what I mean, they was like, nah, we're going to kill this, you feel me? You know, they can't let that roll out like that. It's just what it is. You know, the minute that shit was going on, they had to get Donnie T off the paint. He was too popular and too prevalent for them to put down. You feel me? So they had to you know, digitally assassinate him. You know, they had to, you know, assassinate his character. You know what I mean? Because they couldn't you know, physically do it. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Everybody would know what the fuck that was up with that. So we gonna get the rain starting. The rain's starting now. I know where I'm at now. I hate this fucking roundabout. So right now I'm dragging a 28-foot trailer behind me. I'm gonna get a 22-foot boat that's on a trailer. So I gotta bring the boat and the trailer back with me. So if the boat 22 feet, I gotta account for another 4 or 5 feet of trailer tunnel. So this should be fun, and I gotta do this shit in the rain apparently. So this should be a fun time. Yeah, but remember, there was a couple times that Donnie T tried to run for office on the left, and that's how we know. That's how we know that, you know, it's a club. He wasn't invited. You know what I mean? He tried to run on the left. People don't realize that Donnie T isn't a Republican. He's not a Republican. He's not he's, you know, maybe his views that he's held all his life that used to be liberal, you know what I mean, considered liberal, are more now to the right for the most part. But he was never a Republican or conservative. He ran on that ticket. He saw an opening, he grifted that shit, and he fucking was successful with it. You know what I mean? That's why you got like the red flag laws and shit like that, where he's like, well, fuck it, let's take the guns and take them to court later. You know, that's the liberal in him. That's the liberal in Trump. You know what I mean? We got a lot of these Trump supporters and shit like that. Oh, LGBT, blah, 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 blah. It's an abomination, blah. You know what I mean? Yeah, but guess what? He didn't have a problem with it. He never had a problem with it. There's so many videos of him saying, I don't give a fuck. You know? That's the liberal in him. That's the fucking libertarian. He don't give a fuck. He fucking cares. You know, he don't give a shit about weed and stuff like that. But that was how he could run for president. He ran on it. He saw a bunch of motherfuckers on the right who was afraid of the optics of shit, right? That's how he won. A bunch of people on the right, the Jeb Bushes and the Marco Rubios and the, you know, what's the motherfucker from Texas? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. When he said his father was son of Sam. You know what I mean? He trolled the shit out of him. He trolled his way into the presidency is what he did. Fucking going hard on Rand Paul, told Rand Paul his suits is too big and cheap and shit like that. You know what I mean? The shit was fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? You know, but he saw that weakness. He saw that chink in that armor and he exposed it. That's how he was able to get the nomination for the Republicans. It's not hard, especially you see how the Democrats expose that chink in the armor all the time. Republicans are too worried about being called names. So they always want to they'll fucking bitch up, and because they get called a name and they don't like the way it make them look, so they back off and shit, and then the Dems win all the time. That's what happens. Trump ain't give a fuck about that. He didn't care at all. You know what I mean? And you can't control a man like that. You can't control a man that's fucking, he's lawless. You know what I mean? He's lawless. Simple as that. You know, he got his own money. You know, he got his own business. He's a made man. Simple as that. You know, remember like when he first started, everybody was tripping on his cabinet? Like why he had Vince McMahon's wife in charge of some shit. You know, he had a couple other billionaires in charge of some shit, right? What the fuck is this? This is a clown show. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, that's because y'all keep demonizing all of his picks. It's the same thing that was happening with Obama when Obama was trying to pick his cabinet. Every time he picked something in his cabinet, a fucking scandal came out about that person. Kind of hard to pick people that you want in office, you know, and next thing you know, they under some scandal or some tax thing or whatever. You know, so he's like, fuck it. I know these people, and on top of that, a lot of people don't know either, is that a lot of people that he was picking too, he wanted them to sign like some kind of contract saying that they wasn't going to lobby for like 5 years. They couldn't lobby for any company for 5 years. And they was like, nah, no thank you. You know what I mean? Because, you know, their little bullshit on, you know, thing on the, you know, there ain't any bullshit to, you know, but that's how they look at it. You know, they $175,000 to $200,000 salary. That ain't enough of them. They want to make that couple $1 million they get for lobbying for these companies. And Trump was like, if you want to be in my cabinet, you can't lobby. Period. Full stop. You know, because Trump ran on that. He's like, yo, I'm not, you know, I don't want to take money from anybody because I'm not trying to be beholden to anybody once I get in office. You know, you want to be able to hold their feet to the flames just like anybody else. You know? You don't want to take you don't want to take $100 million from Ford or some shit like that, and then when he start rallying against, you know, workers or work wages or employment and shit like that, or when, you know, Ford picks up and moves to Mexico, you know, from fucking North Carolina or Tennessee, like where this truck was made, you know what I mean? He don't got no foot to stand on, and he can't go for Ford because Ford gave him money, you know? And that's how he wanted it with his cabinet, like, yo, we ain't gonna be beholden to nobody, period. So y'all need to sign this contract. Y'all not lobbying for at least 5 years. And, you know, people was like, no thank you. So he got people that was already made, people already had their billions of dollars and shit like that, and he put them in his cabinet in the beginning. You know, people that he trusted. You know what I mean? That he knew wasn't gonna go out here and try to lobby or whatever, because he already had the money that they made. They already made their bank. You feel me? But you know, people don't know a lot of that shit. They just think he was in there, already trying to make his friends more rich. Like, no, he put them in there because they was fucking made. They was made men already, made men and women already. So he put them in charge of some shit. You know, he already had his money. He donated his entire salary, right? I think he took $1 a year or some shit like that. He donated his entire salary. You know, and it's like, you don't see Nipple Slick doing that shit. You know what I mean? How much is Obama worth now? How much is Bill Clinton worth now? You know what I mean? They weren't worth that before they got in office. You know what I mean? They not. See, that's the thing, right? A lot of these politicians, they never had real jobs. They ain't never been out here grinding like we grinding right here. You know what I mean? They never had to get their hands dirty. You know what I mean? Cuts and scars and shit like that, work hard or whatever. They never had to do that. They live in the public office and they get paid to do nothing, essentially. I'm not gonna say all politicians do nothing, but I mean, the majority of them do nothing. You know. Now you got AOC, she coming out with her fucking shirt now that say abolish ICE. You know, because now she wanna pick that fucking battle again. She probably, you know, like I said, it's an election year. It's time for her to start grifting again. What worked for her last time? You know what I mean? The Clintons love Haiti. I bet they do. They made a bunch of money off Haiti. Haiti still ain't seen that money. You know what I mean? Connor and Cruz are worth millions. All from trading. Yeah. Yep. Ted Cruz. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, Ted Cruz. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, right. Welcome, Joe. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you're new, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit the subscribe button. Go back, check out my content. I'm sure you like it. You know? But, you know, you can't have somebody like Donnie T in office that you can't control. You can't. You know, they couldn't link him to shit. You know? This is the funny part, right? I said this to somebody who was like, Trump is a racist and all this other shit. Trump is racist. Okay. Show me the Trump nigga tape. Show me the Trump nigga tape. I want to see the Trump nigga tape. Right? They'd be like, well, he said it was good people on both sides. I'm like, nah, he didn't. He didn't say that. You missed the context. And I'll show him a video. I'm like, this is what he really said. You know? He said there's good people on both sides. I'm not talking about the white supremacists and neo-Nazis. They deserve to be condemned totally. That's the entire statement. But CNN and them, they cut that clip. They made it seem like he just said there's good people on both sides, talking about the crazies that was fucking fighting in the middle of the street that arguably got off of the same fucking bus and just went two separate ways and clashed in the middle of the street. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? You know? That was honestly, when you look back at it, that's foreshadowing for your ass. That's foreshadowing for January, to that day in January. You know, that's what I'll tell him. I'll be like, all right, well, he said it was, I'm like, he didn't say that. But he said shithole countries. I'm like, he didn't say that either. When you read the article, somebody heard that he said it. Somebody heard that somebody said that he said it. Or whatever it was, third-hand information when you read the article. You know, and I say, all right, show me the Trump nigga tape. Show me where Trump used the word nigga, ever. Nobody got that tape. Remember, there was always this oh, we got a tape, we got, and then shit never came out of the surface. Show me a Trump nigga tape. But guess what we can do? We can find so many instances, whether it was in context or not, of Joe Nipple Slick saying the word nigga and Joe Nipple Slick saying some racist shit. You know what I mean? But people don't want to admit it, you know? There's some people that'll admit that, yo, we fucked up. We fucked up by voting for this dude. You know what I mean? My sister was like, I ain't vote for Trump, you racist. I'm like, Ashley, you know better. You feel me? I'm like, you know better. Come on, I know you be listening to me. And I tell people all the time when they try to challenge me, like, yo, Brandon, you crazy. And I'm like, yo, I've been telling you 2 + 2 is 4 my entire life, right? 3 + 3 is 6, right? 5 + 5 is 10. And I mean, I've been doing that my whole life. Trump's pictures with Tupac got taken off the net. I guarantee it did. You know what I mean? I'm like, so why not believe me now? Why not take what I'm saying into account now? You know what I mean? You know, I said, and I'll show them the part in the book, you know. Like I said, all you guys should go read Behold the Pale Horse. That was my red pill moment right there, 2010 when I read that book. That book was written in 1989, and that motherfucker was knocking it out of the park. You know, up until the now, he's just still in that book, still coming out. You know, somebody that's too powerful. The way you fucking get them out of the limelight, shit, is you discredit their character. You attack and discredit their character. You know, make them unbelievable. Make it look like they put marbles in their ass, like Patrice O'Neal said. You know, and then I still challenge people because, like I said, I tell people all the time. I'm not one of these MAGA people. I'm not, you know. I'm just one of these people that can see from a 30,000-foot view. You know, I can tell when somebody for you, and I can tell when somebody ain't. You know what I mean? And let's just say Trump wasn't necessarily for the people. Guess what? He got a lot of shit done for us, especially the black community, by proxy. You know what I mean? Maybe it wasn't directly for it, if you want to believe that shit, but it got done for us. You know what I mean? You know, his tax cuts, you know, kind of, you know, I didn't benefit from them because I make too much money. Me and my wife make too much money. But, you know what I mean? 90% of the lower middle class still benefited from it, right? You know, the First Step Act. You know, you have they didn't want to vote for it, somebody didn't go far enough. I'm like, nigga, it's called the First Step Act. At least he taking, you know, a step towards in the right direction. You know, he let out. He got a lot of people got let out of jail. A lot of people got let out of jail. You know, once that shit went through. You know what I mean? Opportunity zones. You know, that shit would have been great. You know, if they implemented it right. You feel me? And I remember when Sonny Johnson, shout out to Sonny Johnson, when she was at the White House, man, and she took him to task on that. Like, that money ain't gonna get seen by the white people. It's gonna get seen by black folks in those communities. It's gonna get seen by these interest groups. And she was like, I can fix it. Just put me in charge of it. And I think I don't know if he ever put her in contact with Ben Carson or not. You know, but, you know, she took him to task on that. You know what I mean? I'm balling, yo. I wish, yo. I wish I was balling. You know what I mean? But, you know, he did so much shit, yo. Like, it's like, yo, he did so much shit for the black community, essentially, either directly or indirectly, you know, with the HBCUs. You know what I mean? He gave him the bag for like the next 10 years, yo. He gave him the bag for the next 10 years. He was like, why y'all keep coming back asking for money? And they said, well, that's how it was, you know, that's how the shit was set up. And he's like, oh, fuck that. He's gonna give you this money for the next 10 years and then you'll get it, you know, implementation every so often. You know what I mean? And then what happened? Joe Nicholson come in there, he cut 40 million or 40 billion? He cut 40 billion out of the HBCU budget. And then he turned around and fucking want to open government trap houses and give people smoke kits and shit like that. Tangibles, yo. Symbolism and shit like that. That's what they think of us, you know what I mean? So let's cut $40 billion out of education at HBCUs, right? And we'll give them this other bullshit here. You know what I mean? You want black people to thrive, man. You want, you know, any low income community or whatever to thrive. Anybody, period. You gotta meet them where they are, for real, you know? Like I say all the time, not everybody made for college. Not everybody cut out for college, right? You might have a kid that ain't got the aptitude for college, but he might be a hell of a mechanic, you feel me? Crack pipes equal quality, yeah, exactly. You know, you might got a kid that, you know, he might not be cut off for college, but he might be a hell of a mechanic, you know, a welder, you know what I mean? A fucking pipe fitter, or, you know, HVAC, or, you know, mason, you know what I mean? I got a girl that ain't cut off college, but she might be a hell of a fucking coder, or, you know, she might be good with computers, or engineering, or architecture, or some shit like that, you know what I mean? Shit, you got a lot of women out here now driving trucks. Go figure. You know, that used to be mostly predominantly a male field, because being a truck driver, it's a lot of driving, it's a lot of hours. You know what I mean? So you got a lot of over the road truckers, or truckers that works, you know, like 11, 12 hours a day, shit like that. It's a lot. You know, a lot of women are gravitating toward truck driving. You know, but that's the thing. When I was in school, we had vocational schools. Whitlock had a bit last month. Diversity, equality, equity, inclusion. Die. Oh shit. Damn, I gotta check that out. No matter who vote blue. You know what I mean? But like, when I was in school, we had a bunch of vocational schools. You know, when all rival schools did auto shop. My school was an engineering school, essentially. You know, we had a couple of carpentry schools and shit like that, like Hereford County or whatever. You know, a lot of that shit gone by the wayside now. We used to have a West Side Skills Center where people would go learn, you know, I don't know, Microsoft and shit like that. You know, some skills that can get them, you know, get them in the work field. You know, in the workforce. You know what I mean? Carpentry and shit like that, I'm not sure if they still do it, but like even like, you know, unions, you know, the electrical union, you know, HVAC union, they would pay kids, you know, they would pay kids to go to school, to come to school. They would pay kids to come to school and learn HVAC, and they would get them on the job training and pay them salary, or, you know, wage. You know, not really doing it because it's not the sexy jobs, it's not what they're pushing people to. You know what I mean? It's like if you don't go to college, you ain't announcing nothing type shit. You know? I know people that conservatively make a ton of money doing like trades over people who went to college for 8 years, got a master's degree, and they still working at like fucking Fridays or something like that. My dad, you know, he worked, you know, when I was, you know, he knew I was coming. He was a football star, just like I was. He knew I was coming. You know, don't let him know, but I was the better running back. But he came up, you know, he went and worked for a supply house, you know, carrying sheetrock. What up, kid? What up, kid? Gravity? Carrying sheetrock, yo. He went from carrying sheetrock to being a boom truck operator. Got a CDL, became a boom truck operator. You know, then he went from a boom truck operator to a foreman. You know what I mean? Then one of Jabari's people took an interest in my dad, sent him to like some kind of like ceiling tile school to learn all the ceiling tiles and some shit like that. You know what I mean? Then one fall became a sales rep. You know what I mean? He knocked it out of the park, and he did that shit for a long time, made 6 figures. You know what I mean? Moved us out of the hood, moved us into a nice house, nice neighborhood. Then my junior year of high school, he was like, I can do this shit on my own. Open his own shit. It's been 22 years now. You know what I mean? Not a lick of college. My father can't even spell college. You feel me? But he had hustle. He got hustle. You know what I mean? He got that street hustle and smarts, you know, the street smarts. You know, and you know, in some cases, he had people that went to school with all these degrees and shit working for him. You know what I mean? Including my ass. I work with Obamacare, plenty of master degree folks making the lowest pay. I bet. You know, this shit crazy. You know, this is what it is, you know. Yeah, but they don't teach that, you know, they don't teach hustle no more. They want, you know, they want equal outcome and not equal opportunity now. They don't want the job to go to the best qualified person. You know what I mean? They don't want the job to go to the best qualified, you know, the most qualified. They gotta fill a quota. And that's why shit all fucked up now. You know, poor customer service or just poor quality period. Because you got people doing jobs they don't deserve to be doing. So because you need to meet a quota so you seem less racist or whatever. You know. Speaking of that, right? So like I think a week or two ago, I was on a Spaces. Dude on Twitter named Michael Dean invited me to the Spaces, right? And one of the topics was what was it? Unconscious bias, some shit like that. Implicit bias or whatever it was. And I was just like, you know, they wanted me to weigh in on it. You feel me? Isn't there a big community of my people in Baltimore? I met a guy who went to rabbi school out there and works for kosher food agency in Bimo. Yeah, it is, yo. So actually it's not far from my house, matter of fact. We call it G-Town. It's off of Park Heights, right? And I used to get this analogy all the time, right? Because I would tell people to look at, like, it's a clear distinction, right? So we got a street name called Northern Parkway, right? Goes straight from Baltimore County all the way into East Baltimore. It takes you it'll take you straight to Morgan State, right? So once you get to Northern Parkway and Park Heights, right, going eastbound, if you go to your right, it's like you in Jamaica or Haiti or some shit. Shit all fucking crazy. Shit all crazy looking. And, you might get shot around that bitch. You might get robbed around that motherfucker, right? But I'll lie to you not. On the other side of the street is your people, Jabari. Shit clean as a motherfucker. They got community centers. They got nice ass houses. They be walking down the street with their little hats and shit. And like not the yarmulke, but like the fucking the Brim Heads, you know, on Saturdays, and it's nice. You know, they keep their shit up. Ain't no crime happening around there. I don't think I've ever heard about any crime, anything crazy happening on that side of Park Heights ever. You feel me? They keep that shit tight. I don't know if they taking care of that shit themselves or what. All I know is it ain't never an issue over there, ever. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, and I say it all the time, like, yo, they police their own community. They keep their shit in order. You feel me? Here go Tractor Supply right here. They keep their shit in order, right? I gotta stop at Tractor Supply. They keep their shit in order, right? You know what I mean? They make it so that the police don't have to be in their neighborhood like that. And they not. I'll park this big ass trailer at. Here we go. You know, but I gotta get a sledgehammer because I'm gonna have to smash part of this boat up because I can't come down the road taller than 13'6". So I gotta make sure that I'm not, you know, over it. So there we go. I'm gonna park right here. Okay, Big Fur Brim joints. They got their own police force. Yeah, yo, and they keep that shit in the community, bro. And I'm like, that's how we operate. You know, like that, or like how the mob do, yo. You know what I mean? The mob, they be doing whatever they do in their community. They don't want the police around that motherfucker snooping, so they keep that shit. They keep that shit in house. Somebody acting a fool, some shit get out of line. They deal with that shit themselves. You know what I mean? They teach gematria in their schools. Damn. See, black people need. See, we need all they teaching our kids in the school. Like in my school, yo, like middle school. That's another thing. Like middle school, we had to share textbooks and shit, fucking photocopies and Xeroxes of pages and stuff like that. That was all through school, yo. That was elementary school, that was middle school, and that was high school. That was both of them. You know what I mean? That's how it is. They don't, they don't do that in Jabari's people community. All the kids got their own books. They got their own school, right? The shit, it look like a, I don't want to say a maximum security. It's a secure fucking facility, though. I know it's a fucking secure facility, straight up. Ain't nobody that don't belong there getting in and out of that motherfucker. You know what I mean? You know, what up 89? Like I said, if you're new, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. You know what I mean? Dang, you serious? You start learning gematria at 8. Wow. Okay. Damn. Anyway, but yeah, and also y'all be on the lookout. Me and Jay we're gonna do a video on how to on gematria, a one-on-one type situation, because I'm still trying to learn that shit. You know what I mean? That's all I know. I'm just saying. But like I was saying, like we don't have any trades in our community no more. And that'll help a lot of things. You want to stop this crime, step one is to enforce your laws that's already in the books. There's no point in creating new laws if you're enforcing the shit that you already got, right? Step two, create opportunities for people. And I'm not talking about just giving them a fucking job just because, diversity. We need more community centers as far as like workforce placement or skills, Microsoft, learning Word, typing, you know what I mean? Medical billing and coding, some shit like that. Give some free shit like that people know, phlebotomy, CNA type shit for free, Yeah, Jawari, they definitely keep them kids protected, man, because I'm probably like a mile, I'm probably 3 or 4 miles from their school. Like I usually pass it on my way to work for real. I even shop at, for the most part, sometimes I shop at one of the markets over there. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called like the Market Maven or some shit like that. But it's real nice in there. But yeah, it's you want to invest in the black community. Stop giving people money. Get them, don't, stop feeding them. Stop giving them fish. Teach them how to fish. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do. Teach these people how to fish. Teach us how to fish. Don't keep giving us fucking fish. You know what I mean? The demon ad, we need to eliminate laws. I mean, to a certain degree, I agree. I think some laws are necessary. You know what I mean? But, I definitely wholeheartedly agree with you on stop making up new laws. Some laws can be eliminated. You know what I mean? Some laws just need to be enforced. Simple as that. And stop trying to make up new shit. I was in Walmart Sunday night. Motherfucker ran out with a cart full of shit. Couldn't nobody do nothing. Because they're not getting prosecuted for it. That's the point. You know what I mean? The officer that was there, he attempted, but he let him go. He just like, fuck it. He got to the parking lot. He didn't want the paperwork, and wasn't nothing going to happen to him anyway. But you got to enforce the laws in your books. But you also need to create opportunities for people to do better. You want people to pick themselves up by their bootstraps? Give them some motherfucking bootstraps. Teach masonry, teach carpentry, teach electrical, wood shop, shit like that. Shit like that you can make money. Take away some of the fucking red tape that is around, I remember somebody was saying back in the day, in New York. Damn it. Yeah, yo, they doing that shit here too, yo. They doing that shit here too some places, yo. Kids, they ain't getting away with that shit. Take away some of this red tape, right? I remember somebody was saying back in the day, if you want to be a fucking cab driver in New York, You just put a fucking taxi sticker on your car and now you in business. You know? Now they got so much red tape and so many things you got to do just to be a business owner. You know, it's discouraging because they got to get their cut, right? They got to get their cut. You know, it eliminates some of that. You know, I forgot what state it was that was trying to tax fucking like, you know, rideshare people like Uber and Lyft. Like they wanted Uber and Lyft to make these people have not 1099s, W-2s. They wanted to give them W-2s to make them employees and not contractors. Why? You know, why? You know, it's interesting to me that, you know, they preach, you know, we want you to do for self, and we preach, we want you guys to do better, but they always hamstring us every step of the way. You know, we want you to do better, but not without us. You know what I mean? You know, we want you to get your bread, but not before we get our cut. You know, like Chris Rock said, he said minimum wage. He said minimum wage is your employer saying, if I could pay you less, I would. But it's against the fucking law, so I can't. You know what I mean? And you know, he said taxes is, here's what you bust your ass all week for, and here's what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? He said, fuck that shit. Turn them goddamn street lights off and give me my $50 fucking dollars. You know? But like goes back to say, you know, for reparations, I don't want money. Give me tax exemption. You know what I mean? Give me tax exemption, but I digress. Anyway, I'm about 13 minutes from my spot. I'm about to jump into Tractor Supply, grab some shit that I need, and then I'm going to get this fucking boat. So I want you guys to have a good Tuesday. Happy 2/22/22. It's Cannonhotep. I holla at you.